I want to introduce how to apply a traditional SDLC, software development lifecycle, to Quickbase formulas. What we'll show today is editing a formula definition in an IDE, in this case VS Code. Then we'll commit the changes to a Git repository, which will trigger an automated test to make sure it works as we want it to. Finally, we will automatically deploy the new formula when tagging the repository. GitHub Actions will be used for CI/CD. Let's start by taking a look at our app. We have a simple table with a number field and a multiply field that, as configured, multiplies the value in the number field by 4. Now we're going to switch over to GitHub to look at the repository that will trigger testing and deployment when changes are pushed. The formula is stored in the multiply.quickbase file, which, as you can see, is the same as what we just showed in the Quickbase interface. There is also a quickbase.yaml file which contains the test plan along with a manifest for deploying the formula. There are also GitHub workflows that perform the test and deploy operations. Finally, take note of the testing badge that we'll look at throughout this process. Going to VS Code, we're going to edit our formula to multiply the number field by 2 instead of 4. We aren't going to change the test in the quickbase.yaml file, so the test will fail when run to simulate how the mechanism can detect unwanted changes. Now that we made the change, we will commit it to our local repository, then push the changes to the upstream repository on GitHub. Once the push happens, it will trigger automated tests, which we can view in the Actions tab on our repository's homepage. As expected, the tests fail. Looking at the output, test 0, which is the first test, expected a value of 8 instead of 4, reflecting our old logic. Navigating back to our repository's homepage, you can see that the badge shows that tests are failing, which is a visual radiator that tells the builder something needs to be fixed. Let's assume that after talking things over, we agree to the change. Now we have to modify the test to reflect the new logic. We will again commit our changes and push them to the upstream repo, which will trigger another run of automated tests. As expected, the tests pass. The output also shows no failures. Going back to our repository's homepage and refreshing it, the testing badge is green, telling us all is okay. We are now ready to deploy our changes to our Quickbase app. To do so, let's hop over to the command line to create a tag and push it to the upstream repository. Based on how we configured the GitHub workflow, creating a tag will trigger a final round of tests and then deploy the formula to the multiply field, provided that all tests pass. Going to the Actions tab, we can see the testing and deployment runs. Okay, all set. Navigating back to our Quickbase app and refreshing the page shows our new logic is in effect. Furthermore, looking at the properties of the multiply field shows our new logic in the Quickbase interface.